Well, no, not necessarily.
This is a really ugly interview.
I know, but you want me to get you a cup of water?
She says that the interview room is ugly. Let me tell you something. This is the definition of ignorant. She has no idea the danger that she is in.
Is that good?
No, this
you want a
is
refill? All right, let me grab something. I'll be right back, okay?
It's cold in here.
You got a jacket or anything? Let me see if we got a blanket.
Okay. Thank you. Don't leave me in here forever.
I'm coming.
This is 21-year-old Alexandra Schreffler. Back in 2016, Alexandra was brought in for questioning regarding the shooting death of 18-year-old Colton Shearer. Police believe that Alexandra lured Colton to her home, so Jordan Coleman,
Ozell, Jordan, and Taurean. All right, these are the three individuals along with Alexandra that apparently are involved in the murder of that young man. What happened? And now they have Alexandra in the room and she has no attorney, and it appears that she is prepared to talk. This lady is committing every single mistake in the book.
Alexandra believes that she is only being interviewed as a witness, and the detectives want to keep it that way.
I know you're witnessing this whole thing, but because we're talking to you in here, I'm just going to read you your rights, okay? And
I'm trying to help them as much as I can, but I don't really know much.
And let me say this too. If you are a suspect in any type of murder investigation, you have the right to an attorney. If you are a witness, if you are a bystander, if you are anything, just ask for an attorney.
So y'all are over there, you're babysitting this 5-year-old. At 3 o'clock, you said the mom comes home?
No, she got off work at 3 and she got there a little after 5.
A little after 5.
And then we went walking around, like, it was definitely before 6, but we didn't make it very far, and the mom ended up giving us a ride back to my house, which is where all that happened. When I don't remember what time I hit Colton up, but I messaged Colton and I was like, hey, what's your number? And he sent me his number, and then I texted him and he was like, who is this? And I was like, LOL, do you send everybody your number? Like, right. At this time of night, like, you just send it to me. And he was like, just kidding, just making sure it's you. What are you doing? Where are you at? What do you want to do? I was like, I'm trying to hang out. What are you trying to do? He's like, are you home? I was like, yeah. He's like, is it your house? I was like, yeah, I have a roommate, but he's not here. Like, y'all are more than welcome to come. Who are you with? He never told me who he was with. He asked who I was with multiple times, and I told him. And then never put the address in his GPS. I guess he drove by my house. I was like standing out on the porch. He drove by my house like a few times, like stopped, backed up, like did some weird stuff. I was like, what are you doing? I was like, I'm outside. I waited for like 10-15 minutes and I called him back. And then I was like, where are you at? He's like, on your road. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna go change. And he's like, okay. And then he pulled up into my driveway. I walked out and I was on the phone with him. I walked out the door. I kicked the door open because you have to kick it to open it. I was on the phone with him and he's like, I'm here. I was like, I know, I see you. And then he got out of his truck. He walked around the back. He like started walking up to the porch. And only one person came from this way. And it looked like they started rumbling and fighting. No guns, no nothing. But I freaked out. I ran inside. I did not shut the door. I told Celeste to go back to the back bedroom. Like, I don't know what the fuck's happening. She started screaming and crying and she was scared because as soon as I said that, boom, a bullet went. And I was like, I dropped to the floor and I like slid across, and I don't know if it came out of the kitchen or if it came out of the living room, but apparently there was a bullet that came through the mirror. So if there was...
At your house?
Yeah, I don't know if there was... I don't know how many gunshots there were because it happened so fast. Celeste said she heard 2 or 3, but I don't know how many I heard.
Okay.
Alexandra claims that she asked Colton to come over so they could hang out. As Colton was walking up to her home, she claimed she saw one figure attack Colton, and then she heard gunshots.
Got out of his truck, he walked around the back part of the truck, and like as soon as he like went to walk up on the stairs, someone came from this way. And then I know that I saw more than 6 people in my yard. I know for a fact. Maybe I was just freaking out and seeing shit.
Okay, so he's just walking up. He gets to that bottom step, and when you mean somebody attacks him, help me understand. Are they tackling him? Are they? I mean, what?
Like it wasn't like somebody was robbing somebody. Like nobody like went up with no guns. I never saw a gun, not one gun. I only heard gunshots. It looked like somebody was mad at him, like they knew him. Like, I mean, I couldn't see Colton's face or that person's face, but I mean, the way it happened, like it looked like that was like somebody meant to do that.
Most likely, when people take a chance of robbing somebody, especially.
But why my house? I don't even really.
I don't know. That we'll get to the bottom of it. We're gonna find out. But someone decided to specifically rob them at that point for some reason.
And this officer is exactly right. If you show up to somebody's house and you're walking towards the door and 3, 4, 5 people jump out of the bushes and rob you, they were waiting on you. That's not a random event. That's not just bad luck. You were a part of the plot. When I was doing criminal law and I saw women who were facing significant jail or prison time, 8 times out of 10, there was a man behind it. There was a man somewhere in the background that convinced her to be a part of the scheme. And now here you have a young man that shows up at her house and is viciously murdered. What happened? Let's take a look.
And that would lead me to believe maybe he was bringing over some marijuana or something. And some idiots were like, you know what, let's get this.
I don't know. I don't think it was robbing. Colton didn't even say, hey, I have a gun in the truck, nothing. He didn't.
Okay. Is there anybody that you live around that might do something like this? Somebody on your road?
I don't really talk to my neighbors.
But I'm just saying anybody you can think of. Because this stuff doesn't happen in Clay. You know what I'm saying? This is like some Jacksonville crap. Where people get shot up. You know what I'm saying? This doesn't happen every night out here. This is definitely different.
The neighbors across the street are church-going people. The ones to the right of us are like goody two-shoe. His Nana's a crazy bitch.
What have you been told by police? Because you keep saying robbing and all that. Were they robbed?
He said somebody was robbed and killed.
Who did?
That person or whatever. That guy. When Celeste got back in the car, she said that the officer said that somebody had been killed. And the whole way here, we were trying to ask that officer, was it a robbery? Did somebody die? Why were they there? And he was just nonchalantly, answering half of the questions like he wasn't giving us anything.
Okay.
Let me stop it right here. I can tell that this officer already is doing a great job. This officer knows what time it is. Every indication points to this lady having something to do with the murder. She's 21, so she's young and stupid. There are drugs involved. The way the murder went down couldn't have been a coincidence. It couldn't have been just happenstance. It had to be a setup. Even the location was wrong. The officer is like, this is some Jacksonville stuff. This is some Miami stuff. This doesn't happen in our town. He already knows that she's involved and he has one job. And that one job is to get her to confess. But he has to play it really cool because if she says, hey, I want an attorney, I want to talk to the lead, it's over and he has to cut her loose. And he probably does not have enough information right now to arrest her. If he did, she'd already be in handcuffs. He needs her to talk. What you guys are looking at is a deadly game of cat and mouse where life hangs in the balance. Is he going to be able to get it out of her?
So I'm kind of just trying to put it together.
Now he may not know, to be honest with you.
Well, I understand that
Yeah.
he may not know, and I was trying to push questions out of him that he may not have known because I'm trying to make sense of it in my head.
Mhm.
But why else would somebody come to my house and do this?
That's what we're
Why
trying to figure
else?
out.
Why the would somebody come with a gun to my house? I don't even...
The detective leaves the room and comes back with a laptop. His goal is to get Alexandra to log into her Facebook profile so he can see the messages between her and Colton. As she uses the laptop, Alexandra starts to let her guilt show.
It's cold. I want to go home.
Did y'all hear that? Alexandra says, hey, it's cold. I want to go home. And these are the last words that this officer wants to hear because he needs her to confess. If she goes home, he doesn't have enough to effectuate the arrest. Let's see what he does.
I was just talking to one of my supervisors over there trying to get some answers, okay? This is now a homicide investigation.
Who's that?
I don't know yet.
You know, please
No, I
tell
really
me.
don't. I don't.
All right, he says that he does not know. Let me tell you something, and please remember it for the rest of your life. These officers, by law, are allowed to lie to you. They can lie to you straight to your face, and they do it every day. They'll tell you that they don't know something when they do, and they'll tell you that they do know something when they don't. Hey, I'm sorry. I know we had you in here 3 hours. I bet you're hungry, but listen, we just brought your homeboy in. He's confessing to everything, but he's saying that you pulled the trigger. He's saying that you were the mastermind. You set up the whole plot. Guess what? Your homeboy ain't even back there. They don't even know who your homeboy is. They don't even have his name. They don't have his whereabouts. But because of that lie, now you're scared and you start saying, no, well, it was him and it was him. And I just saw him pull the trigger. Now you're going to prison for life. This is how these cops will do you. Never trust anything that they say.
I really don't. I don't know the name of who's dead yet. But look at me, Alexandra. Look, do you go by Allie?
Yes.
Allie, I need you to take this very seriously. I'm not saying anything, but Someone was murdered in your front yard.
Don't say that. I just don't want this to come back on me because he's my friend and this is my house.
Well, think
What
about
if y'all don't catch these guys? Then what?
Well, I don't even want to think about that.
But then what? This falls back on me. He came to my house. What if he's not alive?
I mean, it's a very serious situation. You're right. It is your house.
This isn't like
Crap.
stealing pizzas from a dollar store. This is somebody's life. That's not cool.
The detective notices that Alexandra is becoming very nervous as she shows him the messages between her and Colton. Not wanting to risk her deleting the messages, he shuts the laptop while she is still logged in, so his partner can read the messages later.
And that's the thing. These cops will give you a computer and have you log into something. And guess what? There's a keylogger in there recording every single stroke that you make. So now they have your password. I don't know if you noticed, but this cop never took his hand off that laptop while she was on there typing because he knew he needed to get it before she logged out. Now his partner is going to go through and read all of her messages. He's going to read all of her posts. He's going to read all of her IMs. He's going to see all the thirst traps. Allie has already said she wants to go home. We'll see if she asks for an attorney in time, but she is in so much danger of going to prison.
Those people were not randomly there.
What do you mean? In
The
my
people that-
situation?
This situation, the whole situation, all we're trying to find out is why those people are there and who they are. Okay? And our best shot is for you to tell us. Because they did not pick that address randomly and happen to be there.
I understand that.
So either you facilitated something or your friend did, but the bottom line is it didn't happen without your knowledge. So this is
That would just happen in my yard with those people?
I don't think that you intended for what happened to happen. I'm saying those people that came there, you have some knowledge about who they are.
I don't. I swear to God, I don't. I would tell you if I don't. Or if I did.
Well, I mean, I think you'd be afraid at first because everybody would be. And nobody sits down and immediately tells us.
No, afraid was hearing gunshots go through my doors and my windows. That was afraid.
Okay. But now we're at this situation where we need to find out who they were. And the only people that's going to be able to tell us is probably going to be you.
Me?
Or your friend. I don't know the girl's name yet. Celeste.
This is what I didn't want to happen. I'm being completely honest, and I told you this shit was gonna happen.
We're trying to figure it out, though, and think about it logically.
It could be anybody. You know how people are like, the shit that goes on at that house?
Okay. Well, I'm not going to say nothing else. I'm going to let him talk to you.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, we're just trying to figure out who the people are.
What are the chances that just people you have no idea who they are decided to sit on your house and by chance wait for this truck to pull up to rob them? That doesn't happen. It doesn't happen, and you know it. You've already said that. So here's what you got to decide.
I'm aware that the house was a dangerous place to be. I'm aware that there were people threatening, but did I think anybody was gonna do anything? No.
Okay. Well, who was threatening then?
Nobody does.
Allie, look at me. Allie, here's the deal. We're at a point now where you're protecting somebody who killed someone.
You need to ask
I
for
don't
an
know who pulled the
attorney.
trigger.
You're
I don't
holding
know
back.
those people.
You just held back on me.
No.
You just held back on me. I don't know why you're protecting a murderer.
I'm not. Now I'm being defensive because I feel like now everybody's blaming this on me. And I literally was just trying to hang out with the
Okay, but hear me out. Regardless of what your intentions were, a bad thing happened that you set up, hey, come over here. This is my address. Come hang out or we'll leave from here.
If that was gonna happen, why the hell would I give them my direct address? Why? Why wouldn't I give them the address next door? I'm smarter than that. If I was gonna set that up, it wouldn't have happened like that. Dead or not dead, it wouldn't have happened like that.
Now, she's got a good point. She's like, listen, if I was going to set someone up to get murdered, why would I do that and have the murder location be my front door? I would have to be an idiot to do that, right? She's got a good point. Is she an idiot?
I wouldn't have did it in my yard. I wouldn't have did it in my yard. I wouldn't have let anybody do anything in my yard like that ever. Why would I do that? I would be sitting right here. Why would I tell it?
I agree with you. The problem is something you just told me, is that you knew it was a dangerous place. There were threats made, but you didn't think anything would happen like that.
No, I didn't.
You just told me.
But I don't think that this has anything to do with that. I don't know what this has to do with. I don't know anything anymore.
All right, Savannah, she's a
Am I
white
going to
female.
be arrested for this?
I don't see any reason. Have you done anything wrong?
No, but I feel like that's
This cop is so good. This is a detective, and this is the thing, guys. He already knows that she is this close to throwing her whole life away. But when she asks him point blank to his face, hey, are you thinking of arresting me? Oh, well, I don't think so. Have you done anything wrong? You see how he flips it back on her? You cannot win in this situation. It's like going into a car dealership. How many times do you buy a car in your lifetime versus how many times is this sales rep selling cars? They have so much more experience than you. They sell cars day in and day out, and here you come. You only buy a car once every few years. The car salesman, just from experience alone, has a great advantage over you, especially if you are 21 years old. Here, our 21-year-old Ali thinks that she can go toe to toe with a grown man who is a detective. Is she really going to win? All she has to do is ask for an attorney. But she's smart, right? She can outwit him.
I feel like everybody's making me feel like I have because he's dead.
You know what that is, though? That's guilt. That's nothing we're doing. That's nothing we're doing. Understand we're frustrated because people aren't telling us the truth.
I know that this is serious. I'm aware that this is serious. I run in with you guys all the time over petty stuff. Over petty stuff, this is not petty. And do I freak out? Yes, I freak out all the time because I panic. But it does not mean I'm lying. At all, whatsoever. There may be parts and things that are mixed up in my head that I can't put the whole truth to, but I'm not lying.
Alexandra changes her story and says she knows Colton was a drug dealer and her plan was to get together with him and go purchase some drugs.
You know what almost makes more sense to me in this whole thing? Is if he was coming over to give y'all pot or whatever, or to sell y'all pot. I'm not saying, just hear me out. I promise I'm going to let you talk. It just would make more sense to me that he came over with drugs, either to smoke out, hang out, or whatever, but he came over with drugs. Someone knew about it. Someone had to have known about it. There's more.
No,
there was
plans to go get drugs, not have drugs. He didn't have drugs when he got there.
Oh, yes, he did. I can tell you 100% he did.
Okay, well,
You see what I'm saying?
I didn't know that he had drugs when he got there. There was plans to go get drugs.
But I'm just saying, when he comes over, what's in y'all's mind? What's y'all's plan? Go get weed, smoke out?
Probably.
Go get coke?
Probably.
Okay.
I mean, depends on how the night goes. I mean, it doesn't...
Hey, man.
If
Weed,
there's anything
meth,
else, if
depends
someone was
on.
hanging out with you earlier, or if you invited somebody else over and you are not telling me that.
I'm trying to think before you ask that question again.
But if you, I'm just warning, I'm giving you a fair warning. If you are not telling me that and it comes out later, understand you definitely could be charged with accessory to murder. So that's why I say think very, very carefully.
My stomach drops when you say that.
It should.
I don't even feel safe in my own home now. And if I personally set up a robbery and was like, look, this kid's coming, blah, 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 blah. Come rob the out of him and kill him, or don't kill him, or hurt him, or whatever. Whatever you want to do it. Why would I bring them to my house?
Because a robbery is no...
Even if they're robbed, and the way you're making it seem, like, or the way that it's being, like, the way it looks or seems or anything, why would I send somebody I know, somebody that's my friend, or not even like my friend, but associates like with me, like we talk on Facebook, like
right.
Somebody that knows me as a person. Why would I bring him to my house to be robbed?
I mean, and that's a great point. What do you think the answer is? Why would Allie set up a friend, an associate, whatever? Why would she set him up to be robbed at her front door? If she did that, that would make her real stupid, wouldn't it? Why would she do it?
If it was a complete stranger, okay, hell yeah, I'll put the handcuffs on me. Maybe. But why would I do that to him?
The detective is about to bluff Alexandra by telling her that the friend she was with has already spoken with another officer.
Oh my God.
And told him that Alexandra and her boyfriend Jordan set up Colton to be robbed.
Then why would Celeste say that you and Jordan set this up?
She didn't say that.
She didn't.
Oh, this is tough to do. When you're a detective in these situations, you need to find a way to turn up the pressure. And so many times, cops just don't have that evidence to do it. So what do? They lie. I just talked about this. Now, lying is a very dangerous game, and you got to do it right. Because if you do it wrong, then the person is going to know that you're lying, and it's going to ruin the whole interrogation. Here, Allie was with Celeste, and the officer's like, hey, man, Celeste said you had something to do with it. What did Allie say? way. Alice said, no, she didn't. Now, when the detective hears that, he's got to maintain frame. He's got to keep a straight face, but inside his heart is pounding because he's like, oh my God, did she catch me? But the detective doubles down and says, no, she did. She did. That's what she said. Let's see how this plays out.
I don't know where Jordan is.
Well, I mean, but why would I lie to you about it?
Oh God.
I don't know, to get answers to see if I'm lying.
I couldn't even remember the kid's name. That's why I just had to look at the text message.
She said that me and Jordan set this up?
Yeah.
That's really what she said?
Yes, no games. No games, no tricks.
It's all games and all
that's
tricks.
That's what I'm saying here, telling you, Allie, you didn't set up a murder, okay? You set up a stupid ass drug rip that went bad. That part that went bad is not on you. If you continue to lie, there's a good chance it's going to stick to you.
Okay, so say that you're not just pulling my freaking...
This is no games, Allie. This is no games. I'm not lying to you.
He is totally lying to her. Shout out to all the military personnel, all the military veterans who go out and buy these expensive vehicles with that check, and they go into the dealership and the car salesman sees them coming from a mile away. Next, they're signing on the dotted line with 29% interest on a car. And you ask the salesman, hey, 29% interest, is this a good interest rate? Oh yeah, son. Yeah, this is a good interest rate. You're a veteran. You're military. I wouldn't do you like that. Here's a pen. And it's the same thing with these damn detectives. Look at the words on the screen. I am not lying to you. What is he doing? Lying straight to her face.
This is serious.
Okay, so...
And you're a good person, and I don't want to see you go down for something stupid.
Okay,
so just tell me the truth.
But either way, even if she said that and it's true, I go to jail, right?
No, not necessarily.
Not necessarily.
Yes, necessarily.
Really?
Did you pull a trigger, Allie?
No, why would I kill somebody?
Exactly. So let's cut this out. You didn't pull a trigger. Okay, you made some mistakes, but let's own up to them. Someone died. This is bigger than just some... You're worried about little petty shit.
I want to go home. I don't want to go to jail.
What do you think your best options are to go home? You think it's to continue to sit here and feed me a bunch of BS, or do you think it's to be like, hey, listen, I'll own up to this little stupid ass thing I set up, but there was no intention for any of this to happen. That's on someone else. You see what I'm saying? It's completely different. Completely different. This is no games. I'm not trying to trick you at all, because what she's saying is sure as hell enough to put you in jail.
She didn't say anything. And again, I hope y'all saw what just happened. Allie says, I want to go home. All right. And what does the cop do? The cop uses that against her. He reverses it. He says, well, what do you think your best chances of going home are? Aren't your best chances of going home just admitting that you set this up, but not to the murder? Won't that get you home? What's the answer? No, that's going to get you straight to prison. But he is trying to convince her that if she didn't pull the trigger, if she wasn't the one that committed the murder, then there might be a chance she could go home. That is not true at all. She's going to get locked up. In that case, she would have set up the whole plot. These detectives will lie and manipulate and do anything to get you to confess. Now that's their job. And maybe as community members, we should want them to have that freedom so that criminals are brought to justice. But if you're the one sitting in that blue chair with that blue table in that cold room, you would want them to be 100% truthful with you. What do you think? Should cops be allowed to lie to you or not? Let's take a look at how this proceeds.
If you are involved in setting up a robbery, enough people are going to tell us
So that's illegal?
Yes.
It's conspiracy to commit robbery. It is illegal. However,
Why did she ask if it's illegal? She asked if it's illegal because she wants to admit to it, but she does not want to go to jail. So she doesn't want to admit to anything that's going to have her down.
know who killed him.
I don't know who killed him. I don't know.
Okay, but you know who was involved in the robbery, Allie, and you can give me information that will help me lead to someone who has murdered your friend. But right now you are holding back because you're afraid of some stupid charge.
It's not stupid.
I know it's not stupid to you. I know.
To jail.
I understand that. But let me tell you something, Allie. The way this is panning out with everybody else talking, if you do not tell me the truth, you're going to go to jail for a long time.
Please don't say that.
Tell me the truth about your
You promise if I tell you the
small
truth,
part.
you're not going to put me in jail? You promise?
No.
I can tell you right now, from talking with you, I don't think you've murdered anybody.
Now, he can say that. He can say, I don't think you murdered anybody. But what he cannot say, what police officers and detectives cannot do, is promise you things in order to get you to confess. Detective cannot tell our 21-year-old, hey, if you tell me the truth, I'll have it so that you never go to jail. Just tell me everything and I'll get on the phone with the DA and I'll tell him that you cooperated and I'll make sure personally that you will never see handcuffs on your wrists. There are limits to what detectives and cops can say to you, and they cannot induce you or coerce you to confess. So this officer has to play it real tricky, and he did when she said, hey, if I tell you everything, do you promise that I won't go to jail? And what did he say? Oh, I promise that I don't think you committed a murder. That wasn't the question.
I don't think you set up a murder or anything like that. I will not drop a booking sheet on you for murder or anything like that. But I cannot listen to me. You put yourself in a bad situation. I'm not going to make you any promises. It's everything that's going on around us with everybody talking, Celeste talking, and then we're going to start piecing this all together.
Celeste
It
ain't
sounds like
talking.
everybody's starting to give it up. Those are the ones who aren't going to go to jail for a long time. The people who don't tell us the truth and lie and all that, when it comes out, they're going to be the ones that get examples made out of them because they were not cooperative. They show no remorse for human life, and they will not even just talk.
I do care.
But everyone's got a side to a story. If you don't tell your side of the story, then, I mean, that's on you. That's on you, and you're going to get charged. 100%. So make your decision
All I
right
did
now
was
on
ask
what your
Coleman
life's
to
going
come
to be.
over. That's all I did, to come over and hang out.
Right, that's your
And they went
involvement.
over there and they robbed him.
Exactly. Your only involvement is you asked your friend to come over. You didn't tell anybody to go do anything.
No.
You just asked your friend to come over, right? But who went over and robbed him?
She needs an attorney.
I don't know all their names.
Give me something so I can go back and I can tell them that you're being honest with me.
There's no
There were
them.
3 black guys,
Okay.
and I don't know any other names. And then 1 white guy.
Tell me how all this came out to be then.
Everybody's just dumb. They're all dumb, and they don't think. Even when I say no, they don't listen. Whether it's robbing somebody or whether it's anything, they don't listen.
Okay.
And because I'm friends with them, I have to go down with them. And because
That's not necessarily true. You could be a witness in this whole thing.
I'm not a witness when I invited Colton over. If I never invited Colton over, they would have never done any of that.
I mean, there is some truth to that, absolutely.
They would have never done any of it.
I'm proud of you for acknowledging that. Who told you to invite him there, Allie? Jordan?
And he wouldn't leave it alone.
Oh no. All right. So now she's breaking. And she has just admitted that she talked to Jordan. And Jordan told our girl Allie, hey, invite Colton over. And Allie says, no, I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. But Jordan insists, invite the boy over. We're going to be waiting. Allie says, I told him no. But Allie says he wouldn't listen to me. Allie is cracking. She's about to tell it all.
Okay. What do you mean he wouldn't leave it alone? He just wouldn't. He just kept on.
Yes.
When was Jordan over at your house?
He lives there. That's
Oh, he
his
lives
house.
there. Okay,
Yeah.
he lives there.
Oh, Jordan lives at the home.
What was Jordan's plan?
I don't know. They didn't tell me. I swear to God they didn't. The only thing that they said was to bring them over. And I was like, I am, but I think I'm leaving. And Jordan even asked me, he was like, are you leaving with them? I said, yeah, I think I am. I don't think you should do this. He doesn't deserve it.
Oh.
And then
Allie says, I don't think you should do this, Jordan. He doesn't deserve it. See, everything she says now is a nail. It's just one nail that's going in a coffin. It's another nail. It's another nail. I don't think he deserves it. What is she saying by saying that? What did she really mean?
I walked outside on Levo and Coleman, and Celeste was getting ready. And they just did it. And I said, no, please stop. And they didn't stop.
Allie, what did you see when you walked outside?
They just attacked him.
Who? I mean, I know Jordan, but who
I
attacked?
don't know. I swear I don't know the other people.
Okay. What did Jordan do when they pulled up?
I didn't see him. I didn't see where he came from. I didn't see where any of them came from. They were on the front porch. They didn't even know that Colton went to the gas station. They didn't know nothing. I didn't give Colton the right address on purpose. I gave Colton the wrong address multiple times, and he still kept coming, and they still wouldn't leave it alone.
So you gave him the wrong address.
Multiple times.
Why would Allie give Colton the wrong address multiple times? What did she think would happen if Colton showed up at the right address?
Hoping that he wouldn't make it out there because you knew they were going to rob him. And you've got a conscience.
They didn't have anything to rob. I didn't think he had anything on him, and that is the truth. I didn't think they had anything on him.
Why did they think he did? Because he's a drug dealer? I mean, why?
No, Jordan was just...
When you're talking them out of it, what are they saying they're going to do? I mean, just rob him at gunpoint, or are they...
No, I didn't think they had a gun. Jordan doesn't own a gun.
But
they never said anything about a gun, never.
Okay, but Allie, there's a reason why you were giving him the wrong address and why you're trying to prevent this from happening.
Facts.
What did you think was going to happen?
Facts.
I didn't want them to fail at robbing somebody and then my name look bad. And two, I didn't want them to rob him anyways.
But they told you they were going to rob him, right? Now, I guess they weren't very specific.
No, they said if he has anything, we're taking it. They didn't say we're going to rob him.
That's a robbery. But in a roundabout way, that's a robbery. They told you if he has something, we're going to take it.
Sure.
Did they specifically ask you to call Colton, or did you just because you knew you could get stuff from Colton?
No, I called Colton because I wanted to hang out with Colton.
But they asked you for someone to invite someone over who had drugs, right? Or that.
Yes, and I guess they just assumed that was Coleman.
Alexandra claims that she did everything in her power to prevent the robbery, but her boyfriend Jordan would not listen. As Colton was approaching her house, he was attacked by Jordan and two of his friends. With the confession out of the way, Alexandra's only concern is what will happen to her.
You're a police officer and a detective. You're not dumb. What charges am I looking at?
You're looking at accessory to all this.
No. This is why I didn't want you to tell the truth, because this is not.
You were looking at that before, Allie. Before you even told me anything. It's like I told you from the beginning.
Accessory to murder?
Absolutely. You could be. That's an option. But we have something called discretion.
What's that?
It means when I pull you over, I can decide whether to write you a ticket or write you a warning. If you committed a misdemeanor crime, I can write you a ticket or I can take you to jail. Okay? When you're involved in a serious felony investigation and stuff, other than going to jail, we can use your testimony as a witness. There's different things. But I can't make you any promises as far as anything of that goes, because we don't even have, to my knowledge, we don't even have Jordan in custody yet. So tell me what your involvement is. Exactly. What is your involvement in this?
Listen, if I'm promised not to go to jail, I will tell you start to end it. But I have to have an attorney or something to help me.
Yes.
I'm 21. I know nothing about anything y'all are doing.
Yeah, she says, I have to have an attorney here. I'm only 21. I don't know anything. What's the problem? She says all of this 30 minutes into the damn interview where she's already confessed.
Nothing. Okay. I know I made a dumb mistake, and I know Cole is not alive. I have to live with that for the rest of my life.
Allie, hear me out.
But my life matters right now too.
You're right. We went over your rights, right, at the beginning of this. You know your rights, okay? I can't tell you whether or not you need an attorney or anything like that. If you want an attorney, that is absolutely your right. If you want an attorney,
what does that do when I say that?
I'm done talking to you, and then you're going to jail. That'll be done. That'll be it. Here, basically, before we go any further, because you mentioned attorney, I just want to clarify. Do you still wish to speak with me, or would you rather have an attorney present?
I don't know what the best option is at this point.
I can't tell you what the best option is. I don't want to sway you either way. It's up to you. I've told you, and I've been straight from you from the get-go, no games. You are in trouble. With you saying that you want to tell the truth, or you telling me you still want to talk to me?
Yes.
Okay. Oh my God.
You do not want an attorney present. You're willing to talk to me.
She already's mentioned attorney. You know, she's in the game. She's dealing with all these thugs. She's dealing with drug dealers. She's dealing with robbers. Everybody that she's dealing with has gone to jail. She should already know how important it is to ask for an attorney. But when she gets in the hot seat and she even mentions the word attorney, the officer says, oh, well, you asked for an attorney. I got to stop. And she's like, no, keep going. I want to continue talking with you without an attorney. Oh, this is terrible.
After clarifying that Alexandra does not wish to speak with a lawyer, the detective continues the interrogation. His goal now is to get Alexandra to admit that she knew about the plan to rob Colton.
I had a feeling they were going to, because they talk about it all the time, but they never really do anything. They don't ever do it.
You had a feeling they were going to do what?
I had a feeling they were going to rob somebody, some way, something, somehow. Like, I'm just singing like a bird right now.
You
You're
are.
not singing like a bird. You know what? You're telling the truth. Just
Same
like,
thing.
It sounds like everybody's doing. It sounds like, listen, we're not.
Do you believe me now? Do my stories match now?
It makes a lot more sense. Okay. All right, so let's go back. He's bugging you about call, and then Jordan tells you he's on Old Jennings. You can find a ride. Y'all make
He's
plans.
just pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing, and he just wants to rob something, and I don't know why. I don't know why. I don't know why.
Does he need money for something? I mean, is there?
No. If he needed money, why can't he go get a job? It's so easy for a guy to get a job. If I was a guy, I would have money.
All right, guys. If it's so easy for men to get a job, all right. If you're a guy, then you automatically have money. All right. Shout out to her. Shout out to all the guys. It's so easy for us financially.
You could go fucking dig holes for $1,000 a week. Like, whether you're a felon or not.
Is he an addict? Maybe. I mean, does he need to support his addiction? Or?
Oh
I don't
God.
think so. I just think he does it for fun. What is felony murder?
It's basically a murder charge. It says anytime you enter an agreement to commit a felony, which was the robbery, and someone dies as a result, it's felony murder.
And when am I supposed to go to jail today?
Yeah, they'll go to jail here in a little while once we get the booking sheets done and we get everything written up. You'll go to jail from here.
Okay, this jail's scary.
Yeah, it's not a great place to be. You don't line up to go there. It's not the best place to be.
Why did I tell the truth?
Oh, she says, why did I tell the truth?
Are you gonna just sit here?
She says, I could have just sat here. And she's exactly right. If she would have just sat there in that chair mute without saying nothing, she'd be at home right now. They did not have enough to lock her up.
My dad went to jail for murder. I didn't even kill anybody.
She says, and now I'm going to jail for murder, and I did not even kill anybody. Woo! I mean, she is speaking the truth right now.
This is a bad dream. Please, dear Lord. Dear Lord, this is a bad dream. Please. I'm so
You know, our girl Allie's going through it right now, but you know, was she going through it when she first got in there? When she first got in there, y'all remember how happy she was? She was, oh, it's cold in here and it's an ugly room. You know, while there was a boy in a coffin, but she wasn't caring. But now when she's in the hot seat, now it's all a bad dream.
Can I just be taken to jail?
As soon as I can write this stuff, the sooner I get that right, here we
Am I
go.
gonna be put in the room with other murderers?
Wait a minute. What did she say?
Am I gonna be put in the room with other murderers?
Am I going to be put in the room with other murderers? You're kind of confessing, all right? Other murderers? Okay, let's keep going. But Allie, just shut up.
Probably not many of them in there. All right.
The cop
No.
said, there's probably not a lot of murderers in there. You're good. You know, imagine Colton's family. You know, she stopped crying. Colton's family crying every day.
When I go there, how am I supposed? If I can't make a call before I go to jail, how am I supposed to figure anything out when I'm in there?
When you get there, you can make phone calls.
But I don't know people's numbers like that.
You don't know like parents or anybody's phone number off the top of your head.
No,
Is there? I'm not sure where your phone's at because I know it was out of the house,
I
right?
don't have a phone.
Oh, you don't have a phone. So, how do you normally get in touch with people?
Facebook, but I know my mom and my grandpa's number, but I don't know if they're. I mean, I know. I don't know their number. I know one person's number to call and get their numbers.
Okay, that'll be the person you need to call.
But I don't have any money on anybody's phone.
You can't call that way anyway. It's all collect from the jail.
Isn't it like 20 seconds?
No, you get 20 minutes usually. It's collect call. They have to pay for it when you call them. They have to accept it.
And I'm not gonna be with a bunch of people in jail who are gonna kill me, am I?
No. They don't put you in any danger. There's always correction officers watching. There's always correction officers watching everything that goes on. So.
Or am I gonna be sitting here until the other people are caught?
No, we're trying to get your booking sheets done. We're actually chasing one of them right now. Ozell's being chased right now through the woods. We already got Jordan and Taurean, so we're waiting on.
They were
Ozell.
where I said they'd be.
No, they were somewhere else.
They don't give a f. They've been to prison.
Oh my God, she's hanging around with
Obviously, I don't
prisoners.
care who they're taking out with them.
What makes a young lady like you go along with a plan like this?
Dick.
Was it drugs? Was it?
You know, the sad thing is the only drug that I do is pot. And that pot doesn't make me do something that crazy. And I can't explain why I did what I did. What happened wasn't intentional. It wasn't what I expected it to be. I guess I got involved with a lot more people that didn't have a lot to lose and could have cared less. Because I would have never done that.
Oh my God. Oh my God. I'm sorry, I gotta rewind this. Listen, what do they say? From the babes of mouths come truth. Everything that this girl just said was the absolute truth. And if you have children, guys, if you have teenagers, you need to show up just this last little bit, because everything that Allie said was the God's honest truth. What did she say?
And I can't explain why I did what I did. What happened wasn't intentional.
What happened was not intentional. She is exactly right. She intended for Colton to be set up. She intended for Colton to be robbed. She never intended for that boy to be killed. 100% agree with her on that. She's absolutely right. Then what did she say? She says, it wasn't what I expected it to be. Again, 100% right. You know, these youngsters, stuff gets out of hand so quick. They think one thing is going to happen, and now a whole nother thing happens, and they are in way too deep.
It wasn't what I expected it to be. I guess I got involved with a lot more people that didn't have a lot to lose and could have cared less.
Oh my God. She says, I got involved with people who didn't have a lot to lose and could not care less. If you have teenagers, this is really the number one risk to them, to falling in with the wrong crowd. She already mentioned that these dudes had gone to prison. They're convicted felons. What do they have to lose? There is nothing more dangerous in a community, in a society, than people who have absolutely nothing to lose. Just like Allie said, they can't care less. They got nothing to lose.
That didn't have a lot to lose and could have cared less. Because I would have never done that.
She's exactly right. She would have never killed that boy. Ain't no way she would have killed Colton.
And now I'm taking a charge for something I would have never done. And somebody's dead that doesn't deserve to be dead.
I mean, this girl, you put her in the pulpit. She is, everything that she's saying is exactly right. She would have never done it. And now somebody is dead that didn't deserve to be dead. And now she is going to prison for it. This is absolutely amazing that she sees the light 100% as it is, unclouded by trying to get out of accountability or anything. This girl is just preaching the truth. And it's so scary if you have a youngster in your life, because a teenager or somebody in their 20s, they just don't have the foresight. But now it's all coming to her, and it's so clear. Oh my God, shout out to Allie. She sees it all right now. It's too late, but she sees it all.
And now I'm gonna go to jail for murder.
Yeah, felony murder.
And I really just keep praying that this is a dream.
Damn, Allie broke it down.
Can I get you some more water? Yeah, I'll get you a cup of water.
I hate you.
Who?
There's nothing I can do to fix this.
No, you've done everything right, in my opinion. I mean, you've been cooperating, and that'll show. Okay, they'll look at that for you. Okay.
It's not like a petty theft charge or something. It's murder.
You're correct.
Now she gets it.
You're correct, and but that's gonna go. I mean, I think
There's no way to ever get it off my record. I'm always going to be a murderer.
There's different things the defense attorney can do, but you'll have to talk with him about that. Okay?
No, a murder charge is not coming off of your
The
record.
appearance that I'm making you promises or make you think I'm offering you anything else, because that's not what I
Nobody
do.
said anything about murder when I first came in here.
What did she say? She's like, hold up. No one said anything about murder when I first came in here. And again, shout out to the detective. Because what did the detective say? Oh, well, come in, Allie. Come on and sit down. Now, listen, you're just a witness in this. We're just talking. We don't know what's going on and you're just helping us out. He already knew that she was the number one suspect after these boys. He knew that she was the one that set it up, but he didn't let her know. So, oh, we just need to talk to you for a little bit, try to find out what's going on with these other people. The detective played it exactly right. And now Allie is coming to realize, hey, I was set up. No one said anything about murder when I first walked in here. You know, this is the problem with being young and dumb.
They said accessory, and now I'm being charged with full-blown murder.
Now, it won't be full-blown murder. You know, it'll be felony murder. It'll be accessory. Not really conspiracy, but, you know, she's not the trigger person, all right? She didn't pull the trigger, so she won't be charged with the murder, but she certainly had something to do with it.
And I didn't kill anybody.
You're being charged with felony murder, which means that you entered into a felony and it resulted in somebody's death. So it's not the same as murder, but it is felony
It's
murder.
still a life charge, right?
It can be, yes, it can be. How old are you?
21.
Okay, you're 21, you've never been arrested, right? You've been cooperating with us, so defense attorney's gonna work with you on this, okay? And they'll talk with you about it.
Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, listen, she's 21. She's got a clean record. How much do you think she's going to get? Now, there's a body. She wasn't the trigger man, but she did set it up. But we all know people who get a murder rap and they get 15, 17 years, something like that. You know, she'll get out. Let's see.
Can't go to prison. What's the point of even going to prison? Why can't you just kill? Why can't I just be? What's the?
Well,
It's literally about to ruin my life.
you made some poor choices, for sure. You made some poor choices, but now you gotta see what you're gonna do with it now, okay? You make some good choices now. Figure
What?
out.
I have nobody to help me fix this.
No, it's on you. You're 21. You're an adult now.
And she's talking about she didn't have anybody to help her fix this. She absolutely did. She just didn't call on him. All she had to say was the word attorney. All she had to say was the word lawyer. All she had to say was the word abogado. Just something. Or not say anything. Just sit there in the chair and don't say anything. And she'd be at home on the couch.
You've been an adult for a while. You made your own choices. Now you gotta work through it. There's plenty of people who go to prison and get out and do good things while they're in prison even. And
that's true.
Choices you have to make now. Make good choices from here on out. Talk with your defense attorney. See what they can work with you on.
I don't have a defense attorney.
You will in the morning. First thing in the morning. You'll be issued a public defender first thing in the morning. And you'll have one. Talk
I
with
just want to
that.
go to jail right now. I don't want to sit in here.
Well, we're working on that. Unfortunately, we've got a lot of patrol units tied up right now chasing Ozell. So as soon as we can catch him or get some people freed up, we'll be getting you out of here, okay?
Good luck catching him.
I think we'll get him.
She's saying that she wants to go to jail right now, but they're not going to let her. Now, they said, we're not going to let you because we got all these patrol cars out and they're looking for these guys. But what's the real reason? What's the real reason they are not going to let her out of this room? Because they don't want her to call anybody. They don't want her to call, hey, I just talked to the cops, or hey, these cops are on you. They want to keep her there until they've got these other guys secured. They want to keep her there for as long as they can. They can't hold her in that room forever, but they're going to drag it out. It's going to be hour after hour after hour.
Action News Jax was in court today to hear a mother speak directly to one of the 4 people going to prison for her son's murder. Alexandra Schreffler was sentenced to 15 years in prison for her part in the murder of 18-year-old Colton Shearer.
All right, so she got 15 years in prison, and there is the young man. There is Colton, who was murdered, set up by our girl Allie.
Action News Jax Bridget Matter was in the courtroom as Colton's mother gave an emotional emotional statement 3 years after losing her son.
Alexandra Schreffler, she was facing up to life in prison for her part in Colton Shearer's death. Today, a judge sentenced her to 15 years in prison. July of 2016, 18-year-old Colton Shearer was lured to a home before being attacked and killed. Investigators say Jordan Coleman told Alexandra Schreffler to find someone to rob. Schreffler suggested Colton Shearer was an easy target. When Shearer arrived, he was attacked by 3 men. Deputies later arrested Coleman and Schreffler along with Taurean Johnson and Ozell McNabb Jr.
I hold you the most responsible for Coleman's death. Had it not been for your senseless actions of luring him there that night, there's no doubt in my mind that he would still be here with us today.
While an arrest warrant says Schreffler never got out of the home during the attack, in today's hearing, Shearer's mother says her son trusted Schreffler would never put him in danger.
You knew when you sent him that message that you would be putting him in a terrible situation. He trusted you.
Schreffler pleaded guilty to a lesser charge of armed robbery in exchange for cooperation in the cases against her 3 co-defendants. Schreffler was sentenced to 15 years in prison, and Shearer's mother says she faces a lifetime of grief.
I'm forever broken. I will never be the same person.
And while all 4 involved have officially been sentenced today, Colton Shearer's mother says she'll never have true justice for her son's death. In Clay County, Bridget Matters, CBS 47 Action News Jack.
And the 3 other people involved in the killing of Colton Shearer have all been sentenced. Jordan Coleman was sentenced to 25 years in the Florida State Prison. Taurean Johnson received a 30-year prison sentence, and Ozell McNabb will serve 26 years in prison.
So what do you guys think? Our girl Allie gets 15 years in the Florida correctional system. Jordan, the one who kept pressuring Allie to find somebody to rob, he got 25 years. Another co-defendant got 26 years. And then the last one, presumably the trigger man, got 30 years. They gave 15 years to Allie, changed her charge from felony murder or accessory to murder. They dropped it down to armed robbery, and they took into account the fact that she cooperated and snitched on everybody. What do you think? Is 15 years enough for her part in the plot? Put in the comments how much time, if you were the judge, you would have given her.
You don't have to answer that question.
I'll answer the question. You want answers? I think I'm entitled. You want answers? I want the truth!